Hello and welcome to this week's Glasstire Top 5. It is the week of April 16th, 2020. I'm Brandon Zech.
I am Christina Rees.
And we're still locked down. We're still at home. And because of that, we're not going out to see art. There's nowhere really open to see art. So we were thinking what we could do for the top 5 this week. And we came up with the top 5 public artworks that you can see from your car.
Yeah, so let's just assume that every 10 days to 2 weeks, maybe for some people more frequently than that, they get in their car, they drive to the grocery store or the drugstore or wherever they need to go, or they just get stir crazy and they get in their car and they drive.
Yeah.
We've picked our 5 big cities. So Dallas and Fort Worth, Austin, San Antonio, and Houston. All of them are abundant in public art or private art that you can see from public spaces. But we've chosen our favorites or the newest ones or the most current ones or ones that, if you're just out driving around, you can take a swing by these and not even necessarily get out of your car to see them.
So we're going to start with number 5. It's a piece by Margarita Cabrera in San Antonio at the San Antonio's Mission Espada portal. The piece is called Árbol de la Vida, Memorias y Voces de la Tierra. This opened almost a year ago at this point. It's a big structure. It's 80 feet in diameter. It's made of a bunch of kind of individual clay pieces. A lot of them were made by community members. It kind of had a whole process in the creation of this. It wasn't just Margarita working with a factory or working with producers. It was her working with the community to really bring this piece into fruition. I think it's worth mentioning also, you might not be able to get the best view of this piece from your car. There are a few pieces on this list that are like the perfect drive-by, and there are a few pieces on this list where, if a park is open and you can kind of safely walk, could really benefit from closer viewing. So this is one of those, but when we were thinking of San Antonio and good, strong San Antonio public art, this just kind of was the perfect piece that we thought of.
So number 4 on our list this week is, I'm sort of representing my hometown, Dallas. Actually, I was born in Irving, but Dallas is, is the city that I've been in until the middle of last year. But this is a kind of obvious one, but it's also a hometown favorite, I would say. So our city hall, which was opened in 1978, is by I.M. Pei. It's iconic for many reasons. One is it really is just an extremely cool looking building. 2 is because it was used prominently in RoboCop, the cult favorite Verhoeven movie. It's great, and that movie's perfect for it because it does look kind of like a sinister future. And in front of it, there are 2 artworks that are 2 of the more favorite public artworks in Dallas, owned by the city of Dallas. And one is a Henry Moore sculpture. In fact, I think it's called the Dallas Piece, and it was commissioned. I.M. Pei wanted a Henry Moore sculpture in front of his building to sort of cut the brutalism of his building and give some organic shape and something human to look at. There's another piece, a red piece. It looks like it's sort of floating on top of a fountain by a French-Hungarian sculptor named Marta Pan that was actually, it used to reside in Central Park, and it was brought to Dallas City Hall by Stanley Marcus and his wife, of the Neiman Marcus family, also a very iconic Dallas family. You can see all of that from your car. You just drive down Marilla Street and you can see Henry Moore and you can see Marta Pan, and then you can see our wonderful I.M. Pei Dallas City Hall, all very 70s stuff, which of course is just like super cool.
Number 3 this week is in Austin, and it is on the Contemporary Austin's rooftop. So when the Contemporary Austin kind of went through some remodeling back around 2015, 16, this piece was installed on their new rooftop terrace, and it's looking out onto Congress and the other cross street right there. So if you're heading north on Congress, you're heading towards the Capitol, you got the big dome in front of you, you pass the Contemporary, and you can see this piece wrapping around the building. It's Jim Hodges' With Liberty and Justice for All. It's kind of an ongoing installation at this point. There's not really an end date on it, but it kind of officially opened back in December of 2016. It lights up during the day. Of course, it has a really strong presence at night because it's wrapping around the side of this corner lot building that the Contemporary is. My kind of strongest memory of this was seeing that as a backdrop for the Austin, Texas Women's March when it happened in 2017. It makes a good backdrop. It's a strong piece. It's a strong message.
Yeah, it's a really good text piece. It could not have gone up at a better time. It was right around the time Trump got into the White House, and we needed to see good messages like this from a veteran New York artist who's been through some stuff in his life. He went through the entire AIDS crisis. He's a gay artist. Jim Hodges, great artist, and has done some great public works. I love this piece in Austin. I love it being downtown. I love it being in our state capital. So number 2 on our list this week, I don't think some people will be surprised by this, but it's a piece by Martin Creed in Fort Worth. We call it Mothers. It's actually called Work 1357. Martin Creed, the British artist who won the Turner Prize in 2001. This is a private public piece. Kenneth Turner, an art collector, a one-time art dealer, owns the building that it's on top of. It's this giant neon sculpture that spins, and it says Mothers, and we put it in a video of ours, the top public artworks in Texas to see before you die. It was one of the early top 5 videos, and I got up on the roof with it. I love Martin Creed. This is an iconic work of his. He made it in 2011, and you can see it from the Lancaster Bridge, so it's pretty central.
In a Glasstire news post back from 2013 when we wrote about this going up, in Creed's own words, he explains the concept behind the scale of mothers. Quote, "Mothers are always bigger than you are. It feels like mothers are the most important people in the world." And number 1 this week is a show of works. It actually went up right around the time we kind of all became confined to our houses. It's in Houston, and it's I guess you could call it a show of works, or the most recent round of temporary public works along Heights Boulevard. So this is kind of an ongoing iteration of temporary public art projects. There have been a number of iterations in the past, a lot of great artists from Houston, from Texas. This round opened, right around March 18th, and it's going to be up through December. But it's works by Bill Davenport, Vincent Fink, Joseph Havel, Jack Massing, Sherry Owens.
Bob Daddy-O Wade, who we just lost not too long ago, has a piece on this walkway as well.
This series kind of started as, this is a major thoroughfare running up the Houston's Heights Boulevard. It's kind of a walking and a running trail. I mean, it makes for the perfect drive-by because a lot of these sculptures, they have a lot of presence. I know one of my favorite in this round is Bill Davenport's big, 9-foot cabbage. There's a lot of stuff that you can engage with, and if you want to walk the trail, if it's not too crowded, then you can do that, but there's a completely different way to engage, and it's just by, driving a mile and a half up Heights. Of course, there are a ton of public artworks that you can drive by that we just didn't include on this list, and a ton that you can walk by that are either in parks that are still open or other public spaces. Houston also has a big kind of public art map put together by the Houston Arts Alliance, mapping out everything. So if, you really kind of want to be on the search for public art that you can see outside, you can check that out.
Yeah, I actually go to Google and Google your city and see if they have a public art map. I think most of these cities do have that by now. They may not have an app for it, but they can tell you where the work is. Dallas certainly does have this. All these cities have plenty of public art. There's stuff out there. Drive by it. You can actually go see some art.
Go see some public art.
Go see some public art.